gaming hours. It's sleepy gaming hours. What gaming hours it is. There it is. See, even the stream was sleepy. Even the stream was like, I'll appear on screen when I want to. We're doing it. It says in Sleeper 2. I'm actually very excited to hop back in. I'm not excited to talk and read a lot, but Citizen Streaker Shark. That's a different kind of vibe. We're back in it. Okay, what has even happened in this game? Let me think about it. We got out of the tutorial area, which promptly exploded. And now we're in another area. We unlocked a ton of the map. It's crazy big in here. But we unlocked the whole map area, which is pretty wild. Junie, the little girl, rode with us for a bit, and then as soon as we got here, she was like, peace. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she was just like, bye. And then she just like disappeared down a corridor. Presumably we'll see her later. But I don't know when, or maybe not, you know? The Lumper, thank you for the resubscribe. And for the puppy update. Well, congrats to them for getting top surgery. We are, oh no, see the captions are also sleepy. It's sleepy hours, everyone. It's such a sleepy hours day. Okay, I'll wake it up. There it is. See, it just had a little bit of a delay. Disappearing down a corridor is a cool move. It's a cool stunt to be able to do floating on a spaceship. So what we're doing now is we took aboard a friend from the first game. His name I don't remember. And now we're just seeing, so I need to get my body repaired. That's a big thing that I think we can all kind of feel, right? Emotionally, we've all been there. Just kind of got to get the body repaired. Woo. I like that it shimmies a little. Yeah, so right now we're just kind of exploring the far spindle, trying to find more crew members. My bod needs some repairs. Yeah, we just unlocked this area, so we're just kind of hanging out. I'm trying to get one more point so I can upgrade one of my skills. That's it. We're just sort of into it. We're just sort of in it. All right, so we successfully, okay. I remember now what this quest is. We helped repair a water ship that was leaking. And the captain of the ship, Malik, came up to us and was like, hey, what's the deal with your body? And we were like, don't worry about it. And they were like, cool, can I hire you to do a job? And we were like, yeah, I guess. He had weird vibes, but I am gonna do it, so. And then, what? I think that's about it. We're still really unlocking this area, so there's not a lot of story prompts happening right now. We need to go to Flotsam eventually, but that's not necessarily high priority. Trollobite Agent, that's so funny. Trollobite Agent says, sometimes I worry that Nightbot is watching the news when Jenna isn't streaming and it's affecting its mood. Yeah. I hear the US government uses Twitch DMs to discuss military plans, so it's possible that Nightbot is reading stuff from that. I hear actually that the US government, people high up into it, are just using Nightbot to kind of pass back and forth messages. Cool country. I want to find more crew, but I think we really have to explore before we can do that. So maybe we'll toggle exploring. I think this is the last place I need to unlock. Yeah, because I've unlocked everything here. I've impressed Nimba once, which gonna be honest, is pretty weak. That was been my dump stat so far because it's a safe dice roll. So, I love that talking to people is a really dangerous activity in this. Wow, I haven't done anything to unlock this. This is probably... Well, it'll be 100% positive. I wonder if we'll get... We probably won't get any more ticks for doing the dangerous thing versus the risky thing. But if it's going to be 100% positive either way, let's go for it. Yeah! Ooh, new location discovered. I think we were trying to find a bar specifically, but I can't 100% remember. Wow, you were chastised. I'm glad I've baked chastisement into Nightbot by virtue of just saying that kind of thing. That's where I already was. Here's a new mark. Gaia's... Gyre? What is that word? G-Y-R-E. Gyre? Is that what that word is? What is a gyre? Or is it like a gyre? Gyre? Wow. Chat, you really jumped too. Thank you, chat. Like gyroscope. Gyre? A turbulent whirlpool thing. Okay. Interesting. This is a word I have absolutely had no contact with. Something that gyrates. Okay. Okay. I get it. Wow, so we're going into a whirlpool? Okay, we can get a rack. A seaweed-based liquor with a powerful saline taste. That sounds nasty, and like I would definitely drink it and enjoy it. Gaia's Gyre has a reputation for serving it neat and strong. Get racked! The freelancers of Farspindle seem cagey, but spend enough time at the local bar and they'll warm to you. Or we can buy kelp cakes. A huge cylindrical kelp cake sits at the center of Gaia's Gyre. Gaia's Gyre. Should I just say Gaia's? Gaia's Gyre? No, Gaia's Gyre. It's the source of a key ingredient for the canteen's food. Okay. We should get... I do want to get drunk. I'm gonna finish using my dice first. Yes, Justy's Jing at Gaia's Gyre. Alright. Yeah, let's push a little bit more on this one. I might use this one. Nice. Okay. Oh, another new discovery. Spindle Trade Hall. Okay. All right, we can get fuel. That's great. We can get supplies. All right. That's a solid get. We're doing pretty well. I'm going to use my one tick here because nothing bad will happen to me even if it's negative. I just won't get any ticks here. Negative outcome, but I still got fed. So they don't have to like me. They still have to feed me. All right. I think I guess I might just use both of these here. Oh, don't even need it. All right. We successfully befriended some core folks. The Farspindle lives up to its name, its tall stature making it a real effort to travel from end to end. The local solution to this problem were the transit tunnels, massive tubes bolted onto the outside of the spindle that allow for rapid passage from bottom to top. As you find yourself in one of those cavernous passages, bulky cargo haulers rushing by, you start to wonder if braving them is worth the effort. Back up! The shout rattles down the bare transit corridor like a gunshot and is rapidly followed by a crunching impact. You spin back, pushing yourself against the side of the wide cylindrical passage. As you do, a hauler glides past, sending a rippling wave of air across you in its wake. A cadet? Or somebody named Cadet, maybe? When the roar subsides, you hear a string of expletives coming from nearby. A spiky-looking figure... Is it Spike? Clutching some oddly shaped open-framed objects, gestures wildly to the vehicle as it glides away. Dickhead! She spits an impressive glob of saliva down the tunnel in 0G? 0G spitting? Unacceptable. I don't know if I can befriend this person. I'm sorry. She turns to you in her anger. You see that? Tried to slam me into the wall. Total dickhead. She nods firmly. No shit. Haulers hate us. Is it 'cause you spit in 0G hallway? She sniffs and looks you up and down. Not supposed to be in the transit system without a vehicle, she squints. Not like I care, but maybe you do? What about you? She shakes the open frame in her hand. I mean, I'm a robot, so it's like I am a vehicle. If you think about it. In fact, if you think about it, my flesh body is sort of a vehicle for like what's happening in here. What does it look like to you? She rolls one of her shoulders, stretching it out. You're new here, right? Shakes the open frame. Oh, okay. God, she's got a little broomstick? Is this her fucking 0G broomstick? Well, I love that. A spiky, sorry, it's an air bike. But look at this. This is a 0G cyberpunk broomstick, chat. Wow, I'm in love with that. You're new here, right? Is it that obvious? She shrugs sympathetically. Nothing to be ashamed of. Huh. Alright. Let me give you a tip. She begins checking her open frame vehicle, tightening bolts and untangling pipes. Avoid the haulers. Dickheads, a lot of them. Especially the water haulers. Think they're better than anyone. Don't mess with the stevedores, though. They're good people. Get treated like shit by everyone else, just like us. She rapidly plugs and unplugs a series of connectors. They'll show you the shortcuts. She looks up and never, ever get in a Spindlejack's way. She smiles, spinning the vehicle in her hand. Spindlejack? She thumps her chest. You're looking at one. Wow, wow, I had a quote with stevedores? I can't believe I casually used the word stevedores on a stream. I'm genuinely shocked. She pauses, considering something. Then suddenly, she reaches into one of her mini pockets and pulls out a small transparent rectangle punched with holes. Text blinks within it, reading, Cadet, Stripeline Express. You take it. Wow, her name really is Cadet. Cadet, she flexes proudly. That's me. Stripeline is my outfit. Kamal's the dispatcher. Small outfit, but we punch above our weight. Dispatch is here in the Spindle's core, but I run the transit tunnels up and down the Spindle 10 times a cycle. You need anything moving on the Spindle? Data, tech, messages too hot for the hardline? Come find me. I'll do that. She nods. Tell them I sent you. They'll make sure it gets to me. She kicks off the wall and mounts her bike, triggering a small burst of compressed air to keep herself steady in the transit passage. She's got a broomstick. I'm obsessed. I forgive her for spitting in 0G. You hear a buzz of distorted speech from what you assume is her dispatcher. Cadet angles her head to the communicator and mutters back into it. Gotta hop, sleeper. She looks over at you, and something flickers in her eye. Horniness? Or perhaps just a realization. You might be able to help me with something. Package that's been bothering me. Oh. She squints down the passage. Come to the office at Stripline in a few cycles, and I'll show you. Sure. We'll call it a favor on account of me saving you from being flattened by a hauler. She winks. Now, you better get out of here before another hauler tries to squish you. You step back as she twists the handlebars, and bursts of air sends her flying down the transit corridor at an unsettling speed. You watch her go, slightly caught off guard by her final remarks. What would a courier need you for? Horniness. You turn the idea over in your head as you find a way out of the transit corridor back to the safety of the main concourse. Awesome. Okay, so we got away 2 ticks, and then we can go meet her there. Oh, am I still trying to unlock this? I certainly am. Well, that's fine. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll unlock this one too. Alright. Not totally lucky, but we only need 1 more tick here, and then I think we'll have explored the far spindle sufficiently to be able to get a new point, and that point we can then use to upgrade one of our skills. I don't know what skill it's gonna be, but we'll see when we get there. Where is that bar? I love that the icon for bars in this game is like a martini glass. It's such a funny icon choice for a game in which, to my knowledge, no martinis appear. Alright. I got racked. Oh, and I got energy. Oh, that's cool. Well, let's do that a second time then. All right. Cool. Wow, that was a good run. That was very successful. A kelp teeny? Yeah. Once again, a thing that would probably be nasty that I would drink. I'm gonna have a scavenge for more fuel since we've got a bigger fuel tank now. All right. I hope we unlock the ability to repair our dice before they get fully fucked. I'm nervous the fact that we only have one more clock here. I'm wondering to what extent is bopping around different places going to play. Wow, look at this dice loadout. Wow. God, I wish I had more places to use this. Madzaloo, sometimes y'all go off, and I want to give you the space to go off. Let's see. I really don't need to use one of my better dice on this. Hopefully we unlock another place that we can use all these beautiful dice on. Mektel, I couldn't stop you from doing crimes. Also, I wouldn't stop you from doing crimes. Hey! Ah, we got an upgrade point. And a new location. Beltborn Venture. Oh, a gambling hall. Okay. Oh, only vouched for members can gamble on the venture, but bar shifts are easy to come by, mostly because they pay in tips and a little more. Alright, well, more importantly, we got an upgrade. So, I definitely want to upgrade a skill. We could neutralize our engineering, which is really tempting because that has come up before and been pretty detrimental. Because I think if we have no engineering, we have like a -2, which is pretty rough, but we could also just improve one of our other skills. This is always the question, right? Is like, do you min or max? Like, is it better to be good at a lot of stuff? Is it better to be okay at a lot of stuff or good at a few things? I think I feel like it might be worth... Oh, but... The jack of all trades or the master of one. Better still than a master of none, as they say. The game is so good about giving different options that my instinct is to focus on improving one of these skills that I already have opened. But I do feel like we've run into issues with the engineer and needing engineer points and kind of being stuck. So I do think, I think I'm gonna open engineering. Because if we are put into another situation in which we need to use engineering on a trip, I would just feel better having points in that. I know Seraphin I believe has points in engineering. It would just be nice. Or maybe he has endure. He might have endure. All right, I'm gonna go for the engineering. Okay, I feel good about it. I don't think there's a wrong choice. You know, food dinner, that might be it. Jack of all trades, a master of none, though better still than a master of one. You might be right. You might be right. God, we have so many good dice. Where can we even use these dice? So we can get better at gambling. This is just buying stuff. Oh no, we could do stuff here. Okay, but there's no ticks here, so this would just get us money. We could also get friends with people, and maybe that'll unlock a place to spend these dice. That's just supplies. That we're still waiting on. This is, well, Oh, I did unlock... I could potentially try to get some scrap. That might be useful, because my guess is we're going to need a lot of scrap in the future to repair stuff. And by stuff, I mean me and my beautiful body. We can't even do this, because we don't have any interior. And then this one is just about unlocking this area. I'm more inclined to work to unlock something we're already working on. But I think what we should do first is drink. I think we should get racked and then do some work. Rather than dulling your senses, the rack heightens them. Your frame buzzes as it struggles to metabolize the drink. Am I gonna get, like... I'm worried I'm gonna get jumped. Jenny, I would like to hear about the Kelptini as well. Far Spindle is an exhausting place to find freelancers. There's no shortage of spacers here. The corridors and bays throng with crew inbound and outbound, on or between contracts, trading stories, contacts, and materials. But whatever language, appearance, or code identifies someone as worth signing on with, you don't seem to have it. Perhaps it's because you're a new face or are noticeably unsure, or perhaps it's just because you're a sleeper. Born sleepy. You push the thought to the back of your mind and instead focus on what's in front of you, the vast cylindrical tank at the center of Gaia's gyre. The first time you enter the bar, you float open-mouthed, much like all the new arrivals do, at the sight of the huge kelp stack, the biggest you've ever seen. Even now, your eyes fixed on the fronds of seaweed that wave in circular water beyond the curve of dirty glass, you find it impressive. You take a sip of the harsh, saline-scented rack from its magnetic vessel secured to the bar. As you suck on the straw, your eyes follow the shifting fronds. You hear someone clearing their throat beside you at the bar. Ahem. Hypnotic, isn't it? The voice is low and rumbling. Oh, I did not do a low and rumbling voice. Hypnotic, isn't it? The voice is low and rumbling and comes from the large figure on the stool next to you. The fluorescent lights behind the bar glint in his eyes, shining up into his wide, rough face. I heard talk you're hiring. The figure turns to face you. You don't recognize him, but in the shifting light of the gyre's Gaia, that isn't surprising. And you are? Eugene, currently freelancing. He turns on his stool and leans back a little. The effect is clearly meant to impress upon you his size, and you have to admit, it works. That's great. We need body men. We need buff boys. We need buff boys on the crew. Served on a whole slate of crews out in the Spindle. Cutters, mercs, extractors. He smiles and places a broad hand on his chest. Broad skill set, broad chest. Good work ethic, sense of humor. The full package, too. Any references? He raises an eyebrow. You run in a crew or a corps? Yeah, he laughs. Ask anyone. They know Eugene's an honest worker. He taps twice above his heart with 2 fingers, a sign you don't know. I'll run anything out of the Far Spindle. I'm tough and quiet, and you won't need to worry about me. He folds his arms across his chest. What kind of look are we talking about? Before you can answer, a voice echoes out from behind you. Eugene! You look over your shoulder for the source of the shout. Busy as ever, I see. A group of 3 spacers drift up behind you. One of them places a heavy hand on your shoulder. She's fitted with a matte metallic optical implant, and you cannot see her eyes. The caustic light from the tank plays across her face. Vesna? Cold and hardened captain. Too busy to keep in touch, she sighs. I really don't like it when I have to come and find you. It's a hater. Vesna, Eugen nods politely at her, not betraying any strong reaction. Do I look like I'm socializing? He shakes his head. This is a meeting. Oh, a meeting. Vesna squeezes your shoulder. Is that what this is? Yes, Vesna. We're talking about your delivery, in fact. Eugene smiles widely. My friend here is being very helpful. He shoots you a knowing glance. That's right. Vesna turns to you with a raised eyebrow, but before she can speak, Eugene cuts in. The sleeper has a unique ability to extract data. Eugene smiles at Vesna. Exactly the kind of data you've been asking for. So, if we can just get back to it, Eugene gestures towards you, then I can deliver what you need. You know, Eugene, I'm pretty tired of this whole act. She gestures dismissively at him. But in the end, it doesn't matter. She drops her hand from your shoulder to her belt. Your eyes follow it down, and you see a dark, boxy shape there. A weapon? I can see in the art. Can see in the art that it's a weapon. You either deliver by the deadline or you don't. And when you don't, she smiles tightly, I'll be happy to take you through the consequences. Until then, she shoots you a final glance. Chat to whoever the hell you want. Vesna and the two spacers flanking her glide out of the bar, and Eugene watches them go with little emotion. So, what was that? So, Eugene's smile returns. You were about to hire me? What was that? Vesna? He shrugs. She's just trying to rush me, that's all. I won't be working with her again. He pauses, choosing his words carefully. Of course, I can't talk about the particulars. You understand. Vesna just wants to scare you off. She likes to cause me trouble. Eugene looks away, out of the door of the bar. Let's not let her. He pauses in silence for a moment, still looking away. You try to get a read on him, but his face is blank. Only his glittering eyes hint at some rapid internal activity. He turns back to you and meets your eye, a sudden shift in his manner obvious. If you need crew, you need to work. If you need to work, you need cryo. Is that right? He doesn't stop for an answer. Well, I can offer both. Hard work and a good contract with a good payout. You take me with you on this job of mine and you split the take. He looks down thinking. Hell, if you do, I'll consider signing on long term. He smiles. Think of that. No more recruiting. Well, what's the job? Salvage? He leans in. I know of a wreck untouched by local crews, which recently turned up in the wash. Why is it untouched, Eugene? It's just a little sunward from here, but its disabled transponder makes it invisible to anyone who doesn't know it's there. Had to squeeze the location out of a contact, but I'll share it with you for a straight split. Take me and your crew and we'll claim it all. It's going to be a good payout. He winks. A really good one. What's the catch? Eugene frowns. No catch. He leans back and looks around the bar. Happy to take the offer elsewhere. I just felt like you were the right captain for this one. This guy's a liar. But I want to befriend him. I think this is how the whole game is going to go. It's going to be me being like, this person's a liar, but it's a job. I'll be ready to go whenever you like, Eugene pauses. As a show of good faith, I'll also fly out with you on any job from the far spindle. But I'm not leaving the station with you yet, not till we get my job done first. After that, we can talk flying together. No need to rush it. He shakes your hand firmly, his palm rough and pitted, then turns back to his drink. You slip out of the bar, looking to see if Vesna's nearby. You don't spot her among the passing crews, but you can't help but imagine eyes on you in the bar. You shake it off, having become familiar with the feeling of being observed. What matters is that you've found yourself a crewmate and a contract. Whether either will come good, however, remains to be seen. Ooh, new local crew, new contract, new drive, minor drive complete, +1 upgrade points. All right. Great. Great. We're doing so good, chat. We're doing way better than we were last time. All right, so I think I'm gonna try to get some scrap. How's this do? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to let's do this at least once and see what kind of scrap we can get. Or if it's just gonna be money. Okay. I mean, 14 cryo, I'm not angry about that, but it's not as good as I was hoping. I can't do... Well... I could technically try. I think... Well, okay, this isn't a tick, though. This is just a job. So that would be a waste of time. And I'm full up, so there's no point in trying to earn a meal. Is there... Alright, so we need 3 fuel to get there. 2 fuel to get to the hidden wreck. I have such good dice, but I really don't have much to do with it. I guess we'll just trade it for money, but it feels like such a waste. I guess we could open whatever quest line we could get with this. Let's do one of these and see what we get. Alright, we got a little bit of money. We got a couple ticks. I'm not excited about this, but I also, it feels like such a waste to use these on getting a meal when we're full up. I guess we'll just... I mean... Yeah, I guess we'll just work on unlocking this. Or the... Where'd it go? Yeah. Yeah, this is, you know, this will get us money. And it'll help us unlock this tick, so this isn't the worst thing. Okay. And I think we should do one of these jobs. I think we should do Eugene's job. No, Rory. No. We're befriending people. We met a witch in a highway traffic lane. She kept me from getting crushed. And we met a guy named Eugene, who is, where I think we're gonna go. The payment, question mark, question mark, question mark. Does make me a little nervous, but I want to unlock Eugene. What else do we have going on? We could go to Flotsam, acquire some components. We can't do that until we've broken some shit. Where is Flotsam? It's not bad. I think we're gonna do the hidden wreck. Let's do it. Let's do it. I believe in us. Oh, we can't take Seraphim out because he's injured. All right. Wait, I'm gonna double check because I can never remember what the icons are. So I'm gonna take a minute to remember to memorize these. So we've got the engineer, that makes sense, it's a little wrench. Interface, two people facing each other. Endure is like, kind of like a weird plus sign. I do wish these were a little clearer. Intuit is a diamond. And engage is like pressing play. And interface is the one I'm really good at. And endure is the one I'm really bad at. Okay. Alright. So you've got Intuit and Engineer. And you've got Endure and the last one. The one on the far right that I can't remember. Alright. Alright, come on, crew. Let's do it. Let's do it. He's locked in. Because he has to come on this trip. This is not what you promised. Seraphim's to Eugene with a raised eyebrow. Looking out across the field of debris scattered around small asteroid whose gravities has kept them here, you have to agree. Where do you even start looking? Eugene shrugs, unfazed. Said the wreck was hidden. Transponder is off. No flight records. I didn't say it was intact. It was an easy job. I wouldn't have come with your crew. Could have just grabbed it myself. He winks. We all earn our share. Oh, Jonathan, that's a good read. Jonathan says, Intuit looks like a third eye, a little diamond. That is a good mnemonic? I guess that's a mnemonic. It's a memory device. That's definitely more than one wreck. Bliss is leaning towards the window, staring out at the glinting debris. I see at least 3, maybe 4 different engine housings out there. Seraphim sighs. You really think there's something of value to be pulled from all that? I know there is. My tip-off is good. We just need to find the right part. He looks out at the wide field of debris. Of the right ship. Any clues? What I know is that a wreck with an item of great value is out here. That's it. He unstraps from his seat. Are you all afraid of some hard work? Is that it? Alright. Alright, dude. Alright, dude. YouTube chat, Twitch chat wants me to say hello. They hope you are doing well. Seraphim starts laughing. So, you're telling me we don't know what we're looking for, where it is, or what it's worth? Trust me or you don't, Eugene shrugs. This will be worth your while. This is a hot tip. Sleeper, please. Seraphin turns to exasperated. Olivia says hi back from YouTube. Suddenly, a percussive beep interrupts the conversation. All of you turn your attention to Seraphin's terminal. Jonathan says hello as well from YouTube. Mechtel says that the quote gods on Twitch like YouTube more than they like Twitch. And they say hello back, Olivia. What the? He taps a few keys. We've got an incoming ship. Their transponder just popped up. Woo. Ah! Roy says hello Twitch as well. They've been lurking. Galumper wants me to tell you that they asked for a message from the quote bot that I have on Twitch, and they said, quote bot said, should we be concerned about thugs with man buns? Because in my opinion, that just means they've got a joystick. Why? Why? What does it mean? I'll ask. Mechtel wants to know if you have any good plans this weekend, YouTube chat. Weekend is so far away, Mechtel. It's good of you to look forward. What the? He taps a few keys. We've got an incoming ship. Their transponder just popped up. Been dozing, which is kind of lurking? Yeah, I'd say so. A soothing background sound? Yeah. The stream has become Jenna passing forth notes back and forth, Russ Liz said. Yes. Hims and Hollis says hello as well. Geo's Dice says hi. Oh, did she? That's sweet of her. Madzaloo says, tell them quote gods are trying to kill us except for wet twinks. I don't know what that means. I wasn't paying enough attention. Hobbs says, YouTube chat, do you like us? Please check yes or no. Ooh, you're going on a camping trip, Olivia. That sounds nice. It feels early in the year to camp, but I guess it's spring. I guess it's time to start camping. See? Eugene smiles. What did I say? A hot tip. We better claim it before they do. He jabs a finger at the readout. Okay, clock's ticking. I see a few obvious sights, large bits of debris, clear hull sections. We should focus on those. Bliss unclips from their seat and glides out of the cockpit. See you lucky kids in the airlock. Oh, desert camping with big rocks and cool lizards? Jonathan says meal prepping and tennis, which also sounds really good. A very good, responsible weekend. Olivia checked yes in the note back to Twitch. So I think that's the representative. They say that they like you. It's 90 degrees today where you're at? Hot damn. All right. It's camping season for somebody. Yeah. I guess if you're in the desert, it's a lot easier to get out. Because for me, I'm like, we just got to tornado season here in St. Louis. So I'm like, I won't be camping for another month at least. But I say that. I've got some friends camping this weekend and I couldn't join them. And I was really sad about it. Ready, Cap? Eugene slaps you on the shoulder and kicks off through the cockpit joy. Turn to Seraphin. I do not like that guy. Seraphin shakes his head. Give him a chance. Seraphin turns back to his terminal. Hey, you're the one who has to go out there with him. Look, Seraphin glances over his shoulder. Just be careful. You nod and glide through the cockpit door, already trying to map the scattered debris in your mind. Phew. Hims and Halls went over to YouTube to take a peek. Really funny. I think it's really funny when you all bounce back and forth. Let's see. Okay. I supplied, you just gotta give it a try. All right. Signs of an incoming ship. So in 2 ticks, oh my god, in 2 ticks there's gonna be another ship. My guess is it's Vesna. That's what I feel like. So we can cut the door open. Oh, which Bliss is okay at. We could hack the door. But I don't know which of these is gonna have any good shit. Rather than scanning, the direct approach to finding the wreck could be as simple as kicking off into the debris field and hunting it down. Okay. Jonathan on YouTube says, yes, we love y'all. Introverts and extroverts can fall in love. We can analyze the debris. This cloud of shattered chips is hard to piece together. Okay. I mean, we've got some great dye. We've got 4 6s. This is incredible. And 5 if we count blisses. So this is like, this represents essentially guaranteed 8 ticks. Rather than search the trash, you can clear it instead, or we could search the wreckage. But 8 ticks isn't going to get me any of these, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we cannot clear any of these guaranteed. I think they're all going to be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 12. Oh, okay. Wait, we could get this one immediately. YouTube, I supplied YouTube does have holes, but you have to be a member. Bad situation with good luck sounds very Space Cowboy, I will say. For some reason, maybe because we are like gathering a crew and doing like off-world missions and stuff, this one has given me slightly more of a Cowboy Bebop vibe, which I love and am living for. Yeah, we can do this one just outright. So I think that's our best option. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but at least this will give us a better idea of how to focus all of our stuff. Maybe it was a waste to do this with something that I already have a bonus on rather than something that I didn't, but it really just makes more sense. The airlock is open. Time to see what waits inside. New location discovered. Scrape the terminals. Banks of terminals line the shutter interior. Perhaps there's something useful on their decaying devices. Data trawl. Okay, the shuttle might have data you need, but extracting it means systematically working through its systems. I'm the only one who's going to be good at this. This is only 6 ticks. Cesius Blue, honestly, that's my headcanon as well. There's absolutely nothing in the game that implies that there was really a romance, but I like it. I like that energy. I think there's something very compelling about stories. I know it's kind of a trope, almost a stereotype at this point, but I'm an amnesiac and here's somebody who loves me that I don't know anything about. Like, I find that so interesting and compelling and stressful, but fascinating. Okay, what else can we do? We could clear the wreckage. Do you get bonuses or are you just not negatives? Okay. We could put that 6 here. I could also... I could re-roll this too. So Bliss won't be useful for either of these. This might be worthwhile too because it's another interface one. Whereas this one, we don't have that many benefits for, but Bliss would be able to help. How much negative do you get here? Yeah, neither of you. I think it's better to... Yeah, how do you broach the we had vibes in a conversation? That is a great question. That is a great question. Oh, Zixergen. I'm not familiar with that trope in particular. The not telling the amnesia person about the past relationship. That's a weird vibe. I don't know if I like that either. But I just think it's so inherently compelling because it's like, how do you even approach that situation? Because if you had vibes, maybe you'll have vibes again. But also, if somebody just had such severe amnesia that they forgot you, they've got a lot on their fucking plate, probably. It's weird to be like, hey, don't forget me. I don't know. Weird energy. Okay, I think I'm going to... God, Bliss, I wish you were more helpful here. I don't think we'll be able to do all 3 of these. That is just my instinct. So I think we should focus. I think we're gonna focus on this one. Even though we just don't... Yeah, I think this is gonna be our best bet. Ooh, wow, you got 3 ticks? You got 3 ticks with a positive outcome? Is that because this is dangerous? Wow. Okay, Eugene. Damn. We just got 6 ticks. That's crazy, dude. That was great. All right, another 2 for a positive hit. I'll use my dice here. Wow. Wow, holy shit. We've been doing really well today. All right, so we're only 2 away. You know what? I was talking a big game about not being able to get all of these done, but don't say suspiciously, Geo's die. We're doing good. We did so good, I might not risk it. I might not risk using this last die. Well, I mean, the worst that's gonna happen is Bliss is gonna take some stress. And we don't need to unlock this, so I think I'm not gonna use it. I hate to waste a die, but I think this is the right thing to do. We had a really good round. Okay, wow, another great dice loadout. Hot damn. Really, really tasty stuff. All right, well, we should be able to get... I mean, we'll definitely be able to get this. We do 1, 2, 3. That'll be 6 things. Should I wonder... I might risk using this 3 there as well. I mean, let's go ahead and get this one taken care of too, and then we'll have a better idea of what we're doing with here. Please be something that uses Bliss's skills. Eugene's wreck? Is this your fucking ship, dude? Unlock with Cypher. The wreck's outer door is sealed and reinforced. The only way in will be with an excess Cypher. Perhaps there's somewhere else. Okay. Well, Christ, I hope it's in the section that we're already working on. I think I'm gonna have... Bliss is just gonna have to take care of this one. Alright, you two will take care of that. Let's crack this open and see. My guess is if there's gonna be a cipher somewhere, it's gonna be in this data trawl. So let's do it. Isoplot is really funny. Isoplot says, brother crashed his ship and is like, this juicy wreck, amazing. I think if it's, I mean, that is the implication of this, right? Is that he got into some sort of space battle, got all his shit wrecked, and is now playing like he doesn't even know what juicy stuff is here. I don't know if we'll invite this man back on the ship. A cipher is transferred. Yes, an access code for the ship the shuttle departed from. Now just to find where that ship is. Oh, I've got great news, game. Kerplunk. Wow. Oh, but he's so wide. I mean, if we succeed, maybe. I mean, we are doing pretty clutch so far. The wreckage doors grind open into a dark and dusty interior. Time to head in. Scraps and secrets wrecked cargo bay. Oh my god. More checks. Unlocking secrets. This must be the wreck Eugene wanted to find. You wonder what valuable treasures wait inside its cargo bay. Alright. Well, again, I think we just have to focus on getting this one done. Ooh. That was a -1. But let's see if we can't get some ticks here. Alright, that was 3 ticks. 3 ticks with a positive outcome because it's dangerous. Ooh, okay. That was a neutral outcome, so they got some stress, but we got 2 more ticks. And I can help with this without taking penalties because I increased my engineering. So, vindicated. And hopefully this will be 3 ticks. Yes, okay. Oh my god. We're having such an incredible run. Truly an incredible run today. Screw you, Vesna. Eugene mutters to himself as he levers the cargo bay open. He turns back to you with a grin. We got in first, faster than her shitty crew. He gives the door one last shove. That'll show her. So Vesna's ship is the one approaching? Who could have guessed? Thought you would have figured that out by now, Eugene shrugs. I swiped the tip off about this place from under her nose. He seems proud of his deception. But who cares now? The prize is ours. Maybe we should not have gotten involved with this dude. The doors are open enough for a person to glide through now. Beyond, there's only the darkness of the cargo bay. You follow Eugene in, the headlamps on your suit lighting his back in the dusty void beyond. You see the boxes appear, as if by magic, out of the dark. Eugene glides past them. Does he not see them? You stop and take a look at the loot. A stack of 4 sealed boxes sit in the middle of the bay, their armored exteriors caked in dust. You wipe it away and squint at the aging label. They look like industrial ship components, still sealed, totally untouched. In the belt where most tech has been through hundreds of hands, patched up and reconfigured, this is a solid haul. But not the kind of haul that gets crews fighting over it. Something doesn't add up. They aren't here, Eugene's voice crackles through the radio. What? Back wall of the bay, come see. You kick off from the crates and glide through the dark until you see Eugene, the back wall of the cargo bay, and something that confuses you for a second. A black shape, a ragged circle around Eugene. You squint. Inside it, tiny lights twinkle. It takes you a moment, but you slowly realize you're looking through a hole in the wall to the stars beyond. Someone beat us to it, his voice is flat. They are long gone. Are you serious? Look for yourself. This happened a while ago. They punched in and took it. What aren't you telling me? Eugene turned back to you, his face pale in your torch headlights. He seems to be lost for words. Folks, Bliss's voice comes through the suit comms channel. I've got Seraphim telling me Vesna's crew are headed this way, so whatever you've got in there, if you want to keep it, grab it and get out now. I'm already headed for the rig. I'll get the cargo bay open and prep from your arrival. They pause. Don't dawdle. We should go now, but I mean, we've got time. We did such a good job. The second tick on Vesna's crew hasn't even come through. Yeah, I want to dawdle. You don't want to dawdle? You think you're above dawdling? Can you save in some way in case you need to save some? No. So you're saying I shouldn't dawdle. You're above dawdling. You don't think you need to dawdle. You think there's nothing to be gained from a dawdle. A dawdle? A dawdle is to like to linger, to like linger around. You're like dawdle in front of a dawdle on the front porch. It means like you're taking your time before leaving. Trial by agent bad. The dice were so good to us, I don't want to risk it again. Is just taking a look at dawdle? Yeah. It is dawdling for sure. And I think any amount of lingering counts as a dawdle. You know what? I trust Bliss. Well, but what if we get something? Have you considered, chat, if we got something? I mean, Eugene did already look. He did already check everything out. But what if there is a goodie, though? Oh, but what if I do die? That is a good question. This is tricky because I know that there's still another cycle before Vesna's cruise tick. So it would be surprising if they showed up. But I don't know. This is like a scripted section, so it's possible that she could show up anyway. We did find the electronic key. It was in the other one. Galumfer. Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. All right. Okay. But what if, though? No, okay, you're right. I'm letting the FOMO get to me. We're gonna go. Eugene suddenly seems to regain focus. The crates. He nods. Let's grab them and go. I wonder if we had dawdled, we would have... Mechtel. No, this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. My guess is if we had lingered, maybe we wouldn't have time to grab the grates, so we would have come out, like, null. Which would have been a kind of a waste of fuel, kind of a disappointment. You glided back across the bay, your mind still racing with questions. Something about Eugene's reaction tells you he knew what he was expecting to find here. If that's the case, you think it's yet another lie he's told you. Fucking right it is. You both reach the crates, quickly lash them together, and guide them weightlessly out of the room between you. As you do, you meet eyes with Eugene, and he looks away. I really hope you two idiots are on your way back, because Vesna's boys are just about to reach that wreck you're on. We're inbound, Eugene quickly responds and clicks his radio off. Well, 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 Seraphin continues. Tell me then, what ancient and powerful treasure did you find on that thing? Gold? A Conway warhead? 3 crates of components? Seriously? Seraphin pauses. Sleeper, me and you are gonna have a serious chat. Totally fair. You cross the debris field to the ship in silence, your eyes on the scrap for a sign of Vesna's crew. You don't think they'd ambush you, but then again, you wouldn't put it past them. As you reach the cargo bay and guide the crates through the open door, you shoot Eugene a final glance. Give me time, he says quietly over the radio. I'll explain in time. You consider pressing him, even shouting at him, but you realize there will be plenty of time for that on the journey back to Far Spindle. For now, you just want to get out of here. Contract complete. Oh, but we didn't... Hey, I got an achievement. Beat Vesna to the hidden wreck. Well, now see, I guess we can just leave. But what if there's something here? I mean, we still have supplies. For anybody who's played the game, can you just like stick around and search around for more stuff if you need to? Yes, the Great Suzo we do. Boom, there I am. See, you can see all my guts and stuff. Contract location config cannot be changed. Totally fair. You can see a lot of my innards. Another cool jacket, yeah. This game has top tier jacket work, honestly. I'm tempted, but I don't think it's worth the stress or pushing. So, we're gonna call it. That was a really great run, though. Leave the contract? Yes. Something flickers in the back of your mind. You stop, you have to stop, to blink it away. It's a tightness behind your left eye, an aching point that refuses to move. And then the voice begins, hissing through the background noise of the rig systems, a new whine amongst the chorus of the life support and ventilation. Sleeper! The hiss brings Lane's sharp features to mind. I suppose you thought you'd slipped my net. Hexport jumps into your mind, an image of the station immolating in white light, though you were not conscious to witness it. You are distant. His voice hisses into white noise. But you are not free of me yet. I'm coming, Sleeper, the hiss drops, and I will retake control of what is mine. The closer I come to you, the more you will feel it. Lane moves your fingers to tap your forehead. In here. Until you cannot resist, A bright smile, pale eyes, a glowing hiss that hurts. Then the hiss is gone. The rig's suddenly quiet, the stinging tightness diffusing behind your eyes, but the fear remains. Sleeper, you good? Seraphine is there, floating by your berth. You are talking. Lane's coming. Seraphine looks alarmed. You feel him, right? He looks away. We can use that. Stay ahead of him. He squeezes your shoulder. We can do this. We're fast and smart. We keep moving. We don't stay anywhere for long. Yeah, he just watched me do that and was like, And we find a way, he frowns. Somehow. You nod. You do not know how Lane is able to reach into your mind like this, how he's able to speak to you, but you want so desperately for it to stop. You must find out what he's done to you before it's too late. You must stay ahead of Lane at all costs. Fine. Eugene has spent the journey back to the far spindle, avoiding Seraphine as best he can. It might be that he's afraid, but you get the feeling that it's more likely he's been making himself scarce out of a genuine sense of regret. Seraphine, however, doesn't see his behavior so favorably. Slimy shit won't even show his face, Seraphine complains loudly as he finalizes docking. Puts us in a Spacer's Crew sight with no care for anyone but himself. I'm kind of with Seraphine on this one. Like, I mean, I guess I know that he's not showing his face for not that reason, because he's ashamed, but it's also like, he has been he let us go into that without having, like, with some pretty outright lies about what was happening. So, forgive the broad man, Isoplod. For you, I will. Have a good walk. Stay silent. You hear the rustle of movement behind your head and turn to see Eugene in the cockpit's doorway, a rare, serious expression on his face. I owe you all an explanation. His voice is low and steady. Believe it or not, this was not my plan. Yeah, your plan was to find the loot in that wreck and split with it, wasn't it, big man? Seraphine glares at Eugene. No. He gives him a tired look. It wasn't. Hear him out, Seraphine. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Vesna's been searching for a ship. Eugene looks over your heads at the far spindle. An infamous ship. Seems like she already had a ship, Seraphine interrupts. That was part of the problem. Not a rig. Eugene looks down towards him. A fraction drive ship. An interstellar ship. Like from the movie Interstellar. That seems to shut Seraphine up. And you don't blame him. An interstellar ship here in the belt? That's tech from the core systems. No way. Eugene sighs. I get that you don't trust me, but I'm not lying. I shouldn't even be telling you now, Eugene frowns. Word gets out there's a factory fresh fraction ship or somewhere in the belt. People kill for less. He shakes his head. Gangs kill for much less. You're telling me there's a fraction ship that no one has ever found that's been sitting here since when? Seraphine shakes his head. Since the collapse? Believe it or not, that's exactly it. Eugene looks at you. Vesna put me on the trail. She wanted me to find its location for repayment. He looks away. An old debt. But the moment I found the data that verified its existence, that confirmed the ship was out there, I couldn't give it to her. And that's when you found me. Why keep it from her, or you wanted it for yourself? You wanted it for yourself. Who wouldn't? Eugene lets out a weak laugh. A ticket out of the belt. Freedom. But it's not only that. Eugene folds his arms. You may have met Vesna, but you don't know her. Eugene meets your eye. She's one of the last people in the belt who should have a ship like that. Well, no one has the ship now, if it even exists. Need I remind you that it wasn't there? Seraphine shrugs. Your data was a bust. No, it was there, once. Those wrecks? Those were the ships that fought over the fraction ship. A bunch of Solheim corporates who wanted to get out of the system when it all came down. And that ship was their ticket. The Aphelon Path. Eugene looks out at the far spindle. It was there, but someone moved it, hid it, long before we got there. Sounds like a fantasy to me, man. Eugene nods. I believe in this fantasy, Sleeper. It's actually Aphelion? Really? Not Aphelion? Aphelion? Eugene inhales long and deep. I'm so sorry, Sleeper. He looks at Bliss and Seraphine, and to you both as well. Apelion? Apelion. I wanted to keep this secret. I wanted to find the Apelion path, and I knew that if I did, he would understand. Still, I was wrong to manipulate you. He bows his head. You just lied. You lied. But I'm not done. He raises his head, his gaze hard now. I will find that ship, and I will leave the belt. How will you do that? Seraphine shoots him a sly look, with no ship of your own, and Vesna at your back. Eugene ignores him and moves closer to you. Sleeper, I will uphold our deal. I will serve on your crew, and when I have news of the Aphelion, I will let you know. How can I trust you? Only you can answer that, Sleeper. Eugene sighs. I'd give you my word if that was worth anything. But it's not. It's not. I know. I always say it, but this time you have to listen, Sleeper. Seraphine gestures to Eugene. This guy is no good. I know his type. Don't bring him. This can be your escape too, Sleeper. Eugene meets your eye. Isoplot, I know you're not here, but I'm sorry. I don't think, if Seraphine weren't rooting against him so much, I would give him a chance, because I want to explore the rest of his story. I can't choose this rando over Seraphine. Seraphine's my ride or die. Potentially more? I can't go against Seraphine, is the long and short of it. I'm curious about this story, but here's what's getting me. The fact that Eugene is trying so hard to convince me and not Seraphine makes it feel like he is trying to play on what he thinks is my sentimentality. It feels like a classic manipulative trick where it's like he knows he can't get Seraphine on his side, so he's gonna try to wheedle me to be on his side. Aren't you the captain? I don't think I am. I don't really know. I was the recruiter, but I don't know that I'm really the captain. I just don't. I'm sorry, Eugene. I don't trust you. Get off my ship. Eugene nods, looking down. So be it. You heard them. Seraphine gets up from his seat. Get out of here. One vote to ditch the Broadman. Thank you, Olivia. It's a shame, but this just has to be how it is. Eugene looks between you and then ducks out of the cockpit. A few moments later, you hear the hiss of the exterior door opening. Good riddance. Seraphine leaves the cockpit. Bliss gives you a nervous look. I hope I never give you cause to treat me like that. They slip out before you can respond. I hope so too, Bliss. I mean, if you lie a bunch and put us into a really dangerous place, I'd probably be pretty angry with you too. I'm curious. I am curious. I was talking to somebody who's already beaten the game, and they said that they did not take Junie on board with them, but they did still hear from Junie later in the game. So I'm curious. I'm guessing we will still hear stuff from people we don't take on board. It'll just be different from what we would hear otherwise. That's my guess on how this is going to go. So hopefully we haven't seen the last of Eugene. You stare out of the cockpit of the lights of the far spindle. Trust, once broken, cannot be rebuilt, and you have to trust your crew. That's rough. Drive failed? Wait a minute. Oh, recruit Eugene. I failed that drive. No, that makes sense. For a moment, I was like, did I fail Cadet's drive? I would like to befriend the witch. But I think it was Eugene's. Sleeper. Cadet drifts from the shadows beside Bliss's Bay, looking around nervously as she approaches. Seems like I'm gonna need to call in that favor. Her face is pale and deathly serious. Are you okay? She doesn't seem to hear you, distracted by a group of spacers gliding noisily down the passage behind her. She waits until they pass. Someone hit stripline. No idea where Kamal is. Bunch of goons tearing the place apart as we speak. She screws up her face in pain, even tried to grab me, but those muscleheads are slow. Who would attack a courier? No idea, she shakes her head. These were typical rent-a-thugs. Could have been anyone with chits to burn. Remember that package I asked for your help with? The one that was bothering me? Remember you mentioning it. I reckon it's got something to do with that. The job was a bust, an express run all the way to Underhang, but when I got there, no one home. She's whispering now, leaning close. place was smashed up, like someone got there first. Should have dumped the package and run, but I brought it back like a good girl. Stashed it in a safe spot at Stripline. Thought the sender might come to recover it, and when they didn't, well, I got curious and popped it open. You're not supposed to do that! She shakes her head. Stupid thing to do. Inside was a drive encrypted to hell and back. When I ran into you, well, I heard sleepers are good with data, with text, so I thought you might be able to take a look at it. She shrugged. Now Stripline's trashed too. Here's the thing, she glances around. Back when I popped it open, I noticed the drive had a dispatch marker. Hexport! Hexport is the base that we were at. That was where the tutorial was. That exploded as soon as we left it. Could it be connected to Hexport getting atomized? Yeah, that's where I'm at too. This thing is sent out from there just before it got cooked. She pauses. And with the kind of attention I've been getting the past couple of cycles... She slips a hand terminal from her bag, taps a couple times, then holds it up to you. Cadet stares out at you from the screen, straight-faced and pale. Beside her picture, you see in block capitals, Spindlejack KD753 in breach of FAR spindle codes B12, the vitamin, and F34. Reward for information leading to capture, considered dangerous. Dickheads blasted out on the transit channel. Every spindlehead, jack, hauler, and freight carrier is going to be watching for me. She pulls back the hand terminal angrily, stuffing it away in her bag. Something's going on. Anyone who can help? She looks away. Spindlejacks don't make friends easily, and now all the couriers I do know are looking to turn me in for a payout. She snaps her head to the side, her eyes flashing with anger. Why do you think I'm here? It's time for that favor, Sleeper. She meets your eye. My connections are burned. Hell, my whole career is gone. I need to fight back. If I walk away, there's nothing to walk away to. She softens a little. I need your help. I think we're gonna recruit the witch. I need you to get the drive. She takes a breath. If they want it that much, then I can use it to buy my way out of this shit show. And I tucked it away somewhere safe, so my guess is they haven't got it yet. So you want me to go back? Fuck. You just slip in, I'll give you the location, and pull the thing out. She folds her arms. Should be simple. So why don't you do it? They're gonna be watching for me as is everyone in the transit tunnels. I wouldn't make it past the core. Look, this thing turns out to be worth something, you'll get your due. All I want is my life back. The drive is in the workshop. There's a loose panel behind the air bike rack. She leans in. It's taped to the back of the fuse box inside. I've got to keep heading down Spindle to the overhang, past the end of the transit tunnels. No one will rat me out there. She glances around. I'll come find you when it's done. I've still got some network access. I'll know when you go in. She winks, offering no explanation. My bike's locked up nearby. I'm gonna hop. Do me this favor, then we're clear. Stay safe. Doing my best, Sleeper. She gives you a mock salute. Boop. She slips back into the shadows, and a few moments later, you hear the percussive pulse of an airbike accelerating away. You know at least what it's like to be on the run, to flee from your life. And in that, you feel an empathy, a connection with Cadet. But from every other angle, this thing looks like bad news, the kind a sensible person would steer well clear from. And perhaps you would steer well clear if it wasn't for one detail that is stuck in your mind. The drive is from Hexport. Is that enough to send you down the strip line in search of that drive? Only time will tell. Alright, I have to assume this is now ticking down. Yeah, okay. Lane is hunting you again. His progress will be tracked by the hunt clock. If it is filled, he will catch up with you. It will increase once every cycle you spend in a hub. However, each time you travel, the hunt will reduce by 3. Okay, so there's no reason to leave until we have 3 ticks. If you keep moving, you can stay one step ahead of Lane. Okay. Alright. So what have we got? What have we got? We've got the gambling thing that we can crack open. We can get a little bit of money, but we're kind of okay on money for now. We can do the strip line. Looks like we're gonna have to devote a lot of stuff to that. Yeah, Cesius Blue, I kind of like it. I do think it's gonna be tricky for me to keep track of what stuff I'm, like, still working on. Yeah, this is just money. Okay. So the only thing I really have here to work on is the Stripline Express. Oh, we could do this. That is a nice payout. I think I want to stick around and focus on the strip line for now. Alright, that's 2 ticks. Yeah, it really just makes sense to do this risky option. Ah, that's fun. Now that we're hungry, we can do the Nimba option again. Do I wanna? I don't wanna. We're gonna work on this option. Because we'll at least get fed. I did it! I succeeded! I impressed Nimba. Whoever that is. Somebody I'm gonna become obsessed with is my guess. I don't really want to risk that. This might lose me in energy, but that's okay. So I am ahead of the curve there. That is still... There was something... There was something I could do for cash. That's trading. That's the bar. Maybe not. Oh, here, yeah, I can align arrays. It'll make at least make a little bit of money, maybe. Here we go. 8 cryo. Can't be too angry about it. Scavenge fuel, yes. Okay. Oh no! Why did I get glitch? Why am I glitching? Did I have stress? I don't like this. Is it just because Lane's getting closer? Yeah, I'm wondering if it's because of Lane. I mean, okay. Well, I don't love that. But we're still gonna focus on this one. All right, that's positive. Ugh. Do I want to risk? I don't know that I want to risk that too, but when Lane zapped into your brain, you'd glitch. Yeah, I think that's right. I do have scrap. Oh, I've got more scrap than ever. I guess maybe we got some on the... I can't repair them until they are broken, which is frustrating. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna blow a glitch die at Nimba. I might blow 2, actually. Oh, wow. 2 impressed Nimbas, 4 energy. Wow. Okay. You get into a good flow, taking care to follow Nimba's barking orders, and at the end of the shift, tired and satisfied, you eat your fill. God, what to use this other garbage on, though? I really don't want to go out on a mission with glitch die, so I don't want to do this until we get that. Have nav required, okay. It feels almost too soon to move, since I know we've got a little bit of time before Lane shows up. Do we have a human digestive system, or do we eat robot kibble? I think we just eat normal food. I think we eat normal food and drink, although it might have a slightly different effect on us than some other stuff. Let's gamble. Big money, no whammy. Woo! 2 ticks and 8 cryo. Alright. I don't hate that. The worst this is gonna do is hit my energy. But we're gonna have more glitch die tomorrow, which I'm gonna want to spend with Nimba, so we're just gonna go for it. Yeah. A curious drone is hunting around your lookout spot. You make a run for it before you're spotted. Alright, okay. One more cycle. In the first game, they said you can't get drunk, so similar, but it processes differently. Yeah, Cesius. That's kind of what I remembered. Alright, so we got 1 glitch die. Let's go ahead and spin that with Nimba. I'm gonna make you like me yet. Statistically speaking. Eventually. Negative outcome. Still got some energy, but no ticks. That's fine. Let's see about this strip line. These are the same. I do think I get more ticks with dangerous actions, but I'm not positive. So this is 100% positive either way. Let's go for it. Yes. Okay. So that did, because it was dangerous, it gave us more ticks. Okay. Good to know. You slide the loose panel away from the wall, letting it float there beside the air bike rack. Behind it, in the dark, you see the blinking lights of the fuse box. A noise nearby draws your attention for a moment. A scrape of a sliding door, maybe? Or just some old system cycling in the walls. It took long enough to gain access to the Stripline Express bike garage, and longer still to find a safe route to the air bike racks. But you're almost there. You've seen and heard the hired muscles searching and guarding this place, and you've been lucky enough not to come face to face with them yet. You turn back to the darkness beside the panel. If what Cadet said is right, the drive is taped to the back of the fuse box in front of you. You reach through and around, slowly, carefully, and your hand settles on something cold and metallic in the dark. It is taped firmly to the box. You pull at it, but it doesn't budge. A quiet rattle echoes from the dispatch office next door, and you freeze for a sec. It seems like Cadet was a little too enthusiastic with the tape. I think I'm gonna peel the tape. Neutral! Good enough! You close your eyes and feel for the seams of the tape. Taking your time, you pick at it, working away each piece from the drive. You hear a clattering sound nearby as you peel off the final piece and the drive spins into your hands. Time to move. You slip the device inside your coat and kick away from the wall, guiding towards the maintenance corridor you entered from. As you cross the bike garage, you hear voices in the dispatch office next door. As you tuck yourself into the cool darkness of the maintenance corridor, a screech indicates the opening of a door from the office next door. Voices rumble through the room, and you quickly and quietly push yourself deeper into the guts of the building. Too close. Barely daring to breathe, you carefully make your way through the maze of passages that brought you here, their dog legs and dead ends now familiar. Eventually, you spot a thin slit of light ahead, marking the loose panel you levered open to gain entrance. You take a deep breath, almost there. As you reach the gap, you freeze. Voices rumble from beyond, and peering through, you see 2 figures in dark clothing searching the chaotic bay behind the strip line. Your eyes are drawn to the dark, boxy weapon one holds at their side. Shit, you hiss silently to yourself, your eyes searching for a path through. Rush them or wait for an opening? I'm going to wait for an opening. Neutral! Breaking even! You wait, silent and still, as the figures search. They split and drift across the bay. You take the chance, sliding open the panel and slipping behind the scrap and boxes at the edge of the room. You work your way around until you can't get any further. You kick off hard, making a dash for the far side of the bay and the public passage beyond. There's a hiss and a guttural chatter of a pressure valve as an air bike pulls up beside you in the passage. Cadet leans over and grabs the collar of your coat. Hop on. Yes! Take me away from here! In a moment, you're on the back of the air bike, clutching the strap of Cadet's bag as she guns it down the passage, the air resistance almost ripping you from the thin seat. You lean against her back and let out a sigh, the drive pressing into your ribs beneath your jacket. You did it. Still alive back there? Cadet's voice brings back to the hypnotic rhythm of the tunnel lights rushing past the air bike. She slows the bike with a rapid series of hisses, and you realize she's brought you back to the passage outside of Bliss's Bay. You try to understand the route she took, a long loop through the branching transit tunnels of the station, but give up. You can let go now. Flirt. She straightens up and unhooks your finger from her bag strap, separating yourself from her back. You push off the bike gently and float in the passage beside her. You okay? Looked pretty rough back there. She smiles. Appreciate you putting it all on the line for me. Can't believe she was just like hanging out outside. Precarious. Who were those guys? Your guess is as good as mine, she shrugs. Didn't look like anyone nice, though. I wouldn't sweat it. I know, Olivia. It was bag strap. It just seems like, you know. It would be a belt, like a seat belt strap, you know? Go on, then. Let's see the drive. You fish the drive out of your jacket and hand it over. That's the one. She squints at it. Should have chucked it when I had the chance. You get your first good look at it, and there's not much to see. A small lump of solid-state memory with a few markers on the case. You spot a yellow hex amongst them. Hexport. This better be worth it. She sighs. I never promised profit, Sleeper. She slides her bag from her shoulder to the front and slots the drive neatly into a pocket. Answers? Maybe. I know someone in the Scatteryards who can crack anything. She'd be my first port of call to crack this thing open. She stretches her shoulders. And I should make myself scarce from the spindle anyway, before those dickheads catch up with me. Well, you could always come with us. Appreciate the offer, but I think it's best if we go our separate ways for now. 2 targets are harder to track than 1. She cycles the pressure valve on the bike impatiently. It seems like maybe I just went through a lot of trouble and she's gonna slip away with the data and I'm never gonna see her again. And that upsets me because I would be getting ripped off. Not because she's a cool, sporty air witch. Cadet leans away from her bike, squinting out that viewing window of your ship behind. That yours? She doesn't wait for an answer. If I'm not mistaken, that old thing is going to struggle to reach the Scatteryards. Unless you've added a has-nav suite? Has-nav? We don't. That's something that the UI tells us that we need. Yeah, belt between here and Scatteryards is drowning in debris, worst since Hexport. You'll need the hazard navigation to make the crossing safely. Low-Tick Syndicate created the tech to help their tankers cross the belt. Common knowledge. Cadet nods at your ship. Maybe if you head up to Wellsprings, you can barter or steal a suite. She adds casually. Here. Cadet unties a bag lashed to her bike frame and holds it out to you. Not enough here for a refit, but maybe you'll get some use for them. You take the bag and something clinks inside it as you do. You open to see a couple of engine components. Was gonna use them to boost her. She tapes the frame of her air bike. But you deserve them. She meets your eye, then looks away. Not like I'll be doing any runs for a while anyway. Thanks. It's nothing. Like I said, you deserve them. Woo. She flexes her fingers on the bike's handle, eager to be away. Cadet's air bike sputters and purrs, trembling in the air like an arrow ready to be loosed. See you around. She winks and guns the throttle, zipping off in the passage with a pulse of air that ripples through your clothes. You stare after as she goes, the bag of components still hanging from your hand. You realize as you look down the passage that you never asked how Cadet plans to get to the Scatteryards. That question, like a score of others, will have to wait until you run into her next. Although you have a feeling she'll find a way to slip away before you can ask them next time too. You head back towards your ship to stow the components, idly wondering if you could justify buying an air bike to Seraphine as you do so. Yes! Yes! I want one, and I deserve one, and I should be given one. Alright. So I can meet her in Scatteryards. I do still need to diagnose my whole body. I still got dice here, though, so let's... see what else we can use these on. More gamble. I could do... Let's do this one more time. Nice. Alright. We're one tick away from impressing Nimba, but we're so full on food. It would be kind of a waste to do it now. There just isn't a lot else for me to do here. I guess I could gamble. Engine components! Great. Maybe I wanna... Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to do the asteroid. I'm going to spend this 3 gambling. Sorry, working at the casino. And then I think we should do the asteroid run. All right. I don't know what's going to be required of it. -3 the hunt during travel. Okay, so even doing this kind of travel will push back the hunt. That's handy. But I only have 1 person. It would just be me and Bliss until Seraphine is back up and running. That would make it harder. God, if only I had Eugene. Well, maybe we should, let's hop over to Flotsam. And away we go. It's hard to tell where Flotsam ends and the ship's parking at its many docking bridges begin. The Seraphine docks with the station. You realize the rig now looks like just another piece of accumulated technology. One more bit of driftwood added to the raft. I love this place. Seraphine smiles as he shuts down the engines. You never know what you'll find. You been here before? Yeah, back when I first came to the belt. The crew I signed on with used to run salvage jobs out of here. Fun place to spend your wages. You see Bliss eyeing the station with what looks like both horror and fascination. You see the seals? They point out some twisted assemblage of ship parts. Total cowboy welds. They could pop any moment. Seraphine waves away their concerns. Oh, that's just the outer layer. I heard there's 6 or 7 in all, so if one fails, it's no problem. He stretches and turns to you. You've gotta taste some of the stuff they grow on old Takahe. He kisses his fingers. That's the good shit. Oh, great, Bliss sighs. So many layers of redundancy and fallbacks that you have no hope of isolating a leak and fixing it. They wrap the walls of the rig. Sounds like a ship I know. Yeah. They smile as you join in with the joke, but Seraphine doesn't look impressed. She got you out here, didn't she? She looks between the two of you. No sense of gratitude. I was joking. Bliss looks a little hurt and drifts out to the cockpit, shaking their head. You go to follow, but Seraphine puts a hand on your shoulder. Sleeper. He looks suddenly serious. Remember what I said about getting checked there? About getting checked out. There are artificers all over this place. It'll take a bit of searching, but we need to know what's going on with you. He meets your eye. That's why we're here. Good. Seraphine nods. Let me know what they say. I'm gonna go see if any of my old haunts are still open. He drifts out of the cockpit with a mock salute. Catch you later! You're left alone in the cockpit with a view of Slopesom's chaotic structure. You look over the multicolored plating. It does, you admit, have a certain charm. It's small though. Look at this baby little ship. Look at this baby little ship. Alright, we can explore Flotsam. Analyze the structure. Equal chances of both, so let's just dump a bunch of dye in until we're successful. Positive. Positive. Ooh, new location discovered already. Ooh, 2 of them. Visiting fuel freighter. Oh, cool. Okay, so we can buy fuel here. It's a little bit more expensive than at the last place. Or the narrow escape. Crashed ship turned bar. Really funny. Ooh, take recovery contract. The narrow escape's barman, Botan, has a tip about recovered contract. For a few chits, he'll give you the coordinates. Stranded rig Alma. My rig's blown its propulsion and I'm stranded on some godforsaken rock. Repair crew needed. Will split hull. No time wasters or thieves. I'm armed. Requirement, recover stranded rig, payment, scraps, and components. Yeah, I'll do that. Alright, yeah, let's keep plugging away. Come on, big money, no whammy. Yes, another 2 ticks. Another location discovered. Antique hydroponics ship. Oh, this is a place that Seraphin was talking about. It's endure-based. We could work the hydroponics, but we're gonna be bad at it. Shifts are always available, or we can buy supplies. Alright. Buy supplies, fill supplies. Nice, okay, God, this place has everything. Let's try to just fully explore this. Alright. Last tick, come on. Let's do it. Ooh, okay, well, we got the tick anyway. We just lost an energy. That's not so bad. The chaos of Flotsam intrigues you. Passage to passage, it is the most incoherent place you've ever visited. Plating, cladding, and cushioning of all kinds of conditions hides a forest of wires and ducts interfacing in ways their manufacturers would never dream possible. Rooms are crushed cargo bays, flipped budgets. No. Rooms are crushed cargo bays, flipped bridges, and eviscerated engine rooms. Phew. Patchwork corridors are lumpen with messy welds, bending worryingly along their lengths. It is, to put it nicely, a total mess. It's not that you don't like it, but finding an artificer among this chaos has been more than a little challenging. This cycle, searching these winding passages once more, seeing only scrap merchants and junk shops, you begin to wonder if Seraphin had any idea what he was talking about when he advised you to come here. A sleeper, the voice cuts through the pungent air. Well, I never. You glance in the voice's direction and find yourself looking at a small booth piled with tech. Behind a fogged and scratched plastic screen is a meticulously arranged counter, the only clear spot in sight. At it, an older man with wet and wandering eyes sits nearby. Jean-Mi. Approach the booth. Jean-Mi tilts his head. I didn't mean to be rude. Please, and he bows a little. That's okay. He smiles warmly, almost bowing again, his hunched shoulders accentuating the movement. I'm really imagining, like, the electric alleys in Akihabara in Tokyo, like the electric markets that you can go to where it's just like hundreds of little stands full of hundreds and thousands of little components. That is what I am picturing this place. How, he pauses, taking care with his speech now. How are you feeling, sleeper? He beckons you a little closer. I am Jean-Michel, but though please, to you, Jean-Mi. I work with machines. He sweeps a hand above his counter where you see configurations of tiny parts. Mostly small ones, he smiles. I'm not great. Of course. He chops with his hand to indicate a stool with a bar leg meant for perching beside his counter, and such is the clarity and persuasiveness of his movement that you obligingly sit. Your presence is a rare honor here. He smiles and looks down at his lamp. I'm sorry if I make you uncomfortable. I'm just very pleased to see you. That's okay. He looks up. That's very kind of you to say. I can see your journey to me has not been easy, he says with genuine concern. You track his eyes across your body, noticing the scuff marks on your thick, vinyl-like skin, the replaced and broken parts of your body, the marks of violence. You pull your jacket a little tighter. Geo's died, 100% same. Jean-Mi folds his hands one over the other and places them on the counter. I do not know what your experience has been, but I want to assure you that I see you as a person, a being, a soul, shall we say, as valid as any other. You look at Jean-Mi, his own age and wear also evident. Damn! A life of precise and careful work shaping his body into a reflection of his process. You note his unconfident way of speaking, which betrays a certain loneliness, a lack of practice. It is his turn to feel observed. I understand. You are kind. The frankness of the remark takes you by surprise. He looks down at his counter and begins to take apart a tiny piece of machinery that sits there. Many years ago, when I began my apprenticeship, I would find that whenever I saw something that, how you say, was not working well, I was fixated on it and its repair. I feel like I should be giving this man a really thick French accent, but I also feel like it's too late. He tinkers with the parts, twisting them precisely. Of course, the belt is filled with this kind of dysfunctional detail. And so I was busy for many years with these small things. He smiles in reminiscence. But now I find that when I am interested in a thing that is not working as it should, he sharply twists one of the parts between his fingers. It is because it might have some quality not yet foreseen or discovered. Are you gonna level me, bro? Are you gonna give me upgrades, dude? He releases the altered object in the air where it balletically... Balletically? I don't know about that one, Chad. Where it balletically twists in a hypnotic display like a spinning top whose movements are totally unpredictable. It is a ballerina and a top. Jean-Mi smiles at you, watching his hypnotic toy. I can see that you are in the process of becoming, Sleeper. He catches the spinning toy between his finger and thumb. Let me aid you in this. What do you mean? Jean-Mi's precise hands drop to a device around his neck. He deftly pulls a pair of goggles up to his face, masking his wet eyes. Hold still, Sleeper. Something flickers inside the goggles, their face blank. Jean-Mi's hands play across buttons and switches on the exterior. Tuning. Focusing. Let him work. Let him cook. When the goggles are finally lowered, they reveal a look of concern on Jean-Mi's face. I think you better come inside. He kicks off from his desk and disappears. A moment later, you hear a rattle and a small bulkhead door beside the booth that you had assumed was rusted shut creaks open. Jean-Mi beckons you inside. Jean-Mi's workshop is even more cramped than you expected. As you enter, you're surrounded on all sides with netting holding bundles and bundles of terminals, servers, drivers, and cables. At its center, a padded seat and a set of articulate arms mounted with sensors and tools fill the space. The seat, please. Jean-Mi gestures at it with a polite smile. Sit. You tentatively settle on the seat, slipping your arms and feet into the straps meant to keep you from floating out of it in 0G. Jean-Mi floats beside you. He looks across your body. There's damage here, I see that. We'll get to that. Hey, did somebody just hot glue your skin closed? Jean-Mi says. No. But I see something else here as well. This is why you came. He looks at you solemnly. Yeah. Though I have never met a sleeper, I have studied them. I was lucky to acquire some materials from Espen Arp some time ago, in the interest of my own endeavors. Is Espen Arp... What was the name of the space section in the first game? Like the place where we were at. Espen Arp is familiar. Is that a company? I remember that they're the sleeper company. Okay. I remember that term from the first game. Thank you, Zixergen. No, I think you're right. I think they're this sleeper company. He begins arranging a series of sensors around you on articulate arms. You are pleasingly distinct from those materials. His eyes flash with excitement. Am I right in thinking you have been modified? I rebooted myself. Yes, I see that your dependency on stabilizer, on the immune recoding portion of its makeup at least, has been broken. He gives you a precise look. But that is not all. You're right, I hot glued my skin closed. My God, let it go. You are physically modified, not externally, but internally. He carefully positions the final sensor. Your tracker is disabled, which makes it impossible for Espen Arp to find you. Congratulations, he smiles broadly. But that is not all. You've been modified, yes, but you are also being modified as we speak. Oh my God, it's scavenger rain. You feel a strange claustrophobia at Jean-Mi's statement. Modified? Seraphine rebooted your system, ran the recoding protocol, but that shouldn't have physically changed you. It only removed your planned obsolescence. That can't be right. Then you are not aware, he nods. I am sorry to hear that. Jean-Mi goes to a terminal and flicks a switch. Through the back of the translucent screen, you see a nodal web in the vague shape of a sitting body. Your body. These changes appear to be complex, subtle, but consistent. Jean-Mi goes silent as he taps at the terminal, the representation of your body rotating and unfolding in unsettling motions. How is this happening? How is a good question, he squints. How? I'm unsure of. See here, he points to a flickering representation of your spine, tracing a line towards your head. Your nervous system is growing additional nodal points here and here. Meanwhile, your emulation interface is growing an umbilical access port. Umbilical access port. Though towards what end, I'm unsure. You instinctively reach back and touch the base of your neck. I'm getting a belly button on my neck? As you do, the scan flickers and screeches with noise. You feel for something there, growing under your thick vinyl skin. Can you feel a lump, or is it just your imagination? You pick at it. Of course you do. Pick. Jean-Mi sighs and shuts off the terminal. The changes are partial and, in all honesty, he gestures sharply at the sensors. The resolution is too poor. I need to run a full diagnostic, but for that I'd need some stuff that you're gonna have to get me. He drifts over to another terminal and brings up screens and screens of texts and diagrams. Yes, some kind of medium to hold your suspension emulation. The access jack I could build myself, but we'll need to bridge your emulation. Jean-Mi speaks quietly, almost to himself. A ship mine would be ideal for this. Would have to be high capacity, a prime ship mine, Solheim in origin. Perhaps Helion Gate might hold records of any that are in the system. He taps at the terminal. Jean-Mi turns back to you. Yes, the prime ship mine is essential if you wish further investigation to be done. I will need this above all. He thumbs the terminal off. I'm sorry to say, Sleeper. Oh, can't you tell me more? Accurately? No. He meshes his finger in front of his chest. It's clear that a process has begun, but has yet to complete. Jean-Mi busies himself with taking down the sensors and folding away the articulate arms. As he does, he tries to calm yourself. You try to calm yourself. You feel as if you have worms under your skin, and it takes all your focus not to pick at its seams. Jean-Mi suddenly, but gently, places a hand on yours. Please, remain calm. He puts a carefully restored rare component in your hand. This can help you. Jean-Mi waits for you to fall still. Then he leans back a little, relieving some of the strange intimacy of the moment. For now, our work is concluded. He meshes his fingers again and bows with a small head bob. But you are welcome any time. Thanks. Of course. His manner seems to have returned to something more businesslike. A humble man who knows his customers' needs. You get up from the seat, a little dazed, and push away into the passage. Safe travels, Sleeper, he says quietly, placing the promised list in your hand as he lets you back into the station. Leave dazed, unsure of how you feel about the insistence of this man's particular kindness. But most of all, haunted by the idea of the unseen processes that are running within you. Part of you does not wish to know anything further, to leave this place and never look back. Another is desperate to immediately retrieve every object on the list so that you may know what strangeness is happening within you. For now, you must steady yourself and find a way to continue. Ah, hey Seraphin, you won't believe what I just experienced. Seraphin comes to find you in your bunk. After Jean-Mi's assessment, you find yourself drifting back to the rig, in need of the familiarity and comfort of your own ship. Sleeper, he drifts in. You've found an artificer? He hovers by the door, looking concerned. Yeah, I'm growing something. You tell him about Jean-Mi, how he offered you repairs and ran an assessment of your frame. You describe the cramped booth, the articulate arms, the strangeness of seeing your own body atomized upon the terminal screen. Then you tell him that your body is changing, growing, in ways that Jean-Mi can't identify. That some process has been started and you don't know where it'll end. You mention umbilical ports and nodal points, trying your best to remember all the details of the things Jean-Mi asked you to retrieve. I do worry that Does Sleeper is prognant. Yeah. Sixer Jen, I do worry. It's not impossible. I think it would be surprising in this game if such a thing were the sitch. Seraphin grows pale and silent. He shakes his head when you stop talking. Lane, he frowns. That piece of shit has to be behind this. We don't know that. I know it, Sleeper. A dark look crosses his face. I'm sure of it. We'll get what you need. We'll find that shipment. A bit of work here and there, and we can make it to Helion Gate and wherever else. What about your stuff? We'll do that too. He thumps the wall. We're free, Sleeper. No one can stop us. Just say the word, okay? He goes quiet. Don't give up on yourself just yet. He smiles. Get up and get back to it. And with that, he turns and kicks off down the corridor, disappearing from sight. You wait a little while, staring at the stained ceiling of the bunk, letting the thoughts settle in your mind. And then, when you're ready, you get up and leave, dazed, but with a stony determination growing in your chest. And God knows what else growing in your chest. I do like the idea that Jean-Mi would crack me open and be like, oh, you do just have some fungus growing in here. My bad. This is actually an M&M. Somebody sealed an M&M on your neck the last time they repaired it. This is why you don't let people with hot glue guns repair your skin. Alright, so we gotta find that data. Flotsam needs constant work. Integration means meshing systems as well as scrap. Then integrators will pay for anyone with meshing network skills. Cool, okay. Oh, and we can buy engine components. I don't know what we need those for yet. I think upgrades, but we'll see. All right. Well, that'll be that for that day. I think Oh, interesting. Okay, so we can only see this one because it's the only one in this section. This is tricky because we still only have one person. Well, let's at least rest. See what our dice loadout is for the next day. I have no lane ticks. Well, now I have one. Every time you travel, you lose 3 lane ticks, and I had 3 last time, so I'm back down to 1. Which is a pretty good deal. That feels like a good amount without being very stressful. So this is probably just work. Yeah, that's just a way to get work. That's not a bad option. Yeah, and there's the contract we bought. And the rest is just work. All right. Hey, Zexta Dex. It's probably not that. It's probably Zeta Dex. I added a little extra funk there, but hello. Yeah, you know what? We got some 4 dice. Let's go ahead and roll them. Let's do it again. Let's do it a 3rd time. I think let's use up all our dice and then we'll do the Alma mission. And then that'll be the end of the stream. Oh, what did I get? Oh, I got some raw scrap. Great. God, we've got so much stuff. Can buy fuel. I am gonna buy a little bit of fuel. Well, we should just fill up. We've got the money. Maybe I'll get a meal. Well, that's supplies. There's no place to just buy a meal? There we go. Leaf wrapped parcels of rice and mushrooms, all the ingredients grown on the flotsam. For 15 bucks, I feel like that's gonna fill me up more than I need. We have this one last dice. I guess let's just do one more run and then, and by run I mean let's do one more flotsam integration. There we go. More scrap, more cryo. All right. Let's try this distressed rig. This shouldn't be too trialsome. I do wish we had more people on our ship, but keep your hands where I can see them, the voice crackles over the open channel of your suit's comm as you near the stranded rig. You slow your approach a little as you move towards the ship, its shape lumpy and skeletal in the distant light of the sun. A warm welcome bodes well for the rest of the job. Bliss shoots you a concerned look. I've got a decent amount. I got 4 supplies. I'm not super worried. I do miss Eugene. And I'm not afraid to say it. You look up at the stranded ship ahead. Clearly, they're feeling a bit exposed. We're here to help. Well, I figured that, the voice retorts. Otherwise, I would have put a hole in that shiny rig of yours already. You arrive at the site of the rig, inspecting the damage as you do. Half the hull plating and big chunks of the internal structure seem to be missing, but you have a feeling that this is not what you're here to fix. The airlock opens and you move inside, the interior all exposed wire and metal framework. The systems wheeze and shudder as it cycles. Nothing of value here, so if you're looking to steal something, y'all are welcome to it. Alma greets you plainly inside the rig. You do the work that's needed, and I'll let you take your half of the hull. Understood. Well, all right then. Her face is as placid and unchanging as a rock. Here's the short of it. Engine's conked out on me, and I'm no engineer. Can usually get her going, but this time no dice. She looks between you and the rest of the crew. Surprised there's so many of you, to be honest. It's just me and Bliss. Bliss smiles sympathetically. Sorry about that, but don't worry. I've worked on these engines before. They give Alma a week. Wink. I can handle this. Don't be so sure. Alma leads you towards the engine room. The layout of her rig is much the same as yours. The girl is the sensitive type. You need to know how to handle her. The central corridor of the ship snakes in a way that isn't familiar to you, and you realize this rig is far more heavily modified than your own. Something that becomes all the more obvious when you arrive in the engine room. Rather than the rig's stock engine, a singular block and double turbine with feed lines between, Alma's engine is a mess of piping and feed lines linking up multiple raw components welded to the interior frame of the room. Your eyes widen at the sight. Been adding to her since I was young. Alma smiles at the chaos. Might look like a mess, but she purrs when she's running. Bliss is shaking her head slowly. Oh, sleeper. They let out a puff of air. This is gonna be special. You struggle to tell if they're intimidated or impressed. Perhaps a little bit of both. It's about all of it. Alma gestures to the exploded engine. Get her running and you'll get your half of the haul. What's the haul? Alma glides to the window set in the side of the engine room and points to the corroded remains of a facility deep in the asteroid's loose, dusty surface. There's the haul, she tapped on the glass. As good a find as I've seen. The haul is a building? Building and all that's in it. Alma screws up her face. What, you too good for scrapping? By rights, that building's mine. Scrappers claim. Alma scratches at her mess of hair. I love this old prospector lady. But you help me get her running, you're welcome to take what you want from her. Up to a maximum of 50% raw mass, that is. We have to extract it ourselves? She looks you up and down, and you feel the first acknowledgement of you being a sleeper. I doubt it'll trouble one of you. Anyway, you're leaving with nothing unless my girl here is back in shape by the time y'all are done. She folds her arms across her chest. So get to it. You turn back to the engine, your eyes tracing the madness of the interlocking systems. You're starting to have the horrible feeling that this contract is some kind of elaborate joke. Hey, job's a job. Alright, so there's the ruined facility. We've got a component search. Or gather scrap. Okay, so we only have 2 icons because there's only me and Bliss. At least we rolled well. So we can gather scrap. That's endure, which we're both bad at. Or we can search for treasure. God. So we just need endure for both of these. That's rough. And there's nothing here that we're really good at, so we're just gonna be okay at everything. Phewy. But I mean, it's not impossible that there's gonna be something dangerous here, but it doesn't seem overly likely. Like, this doesn't feel like somebody's about to drop out of the orbit to blow Alma to pieces, so I think this will take time, but I don't think it's going to be dangerous. Okay, so that got us all but 3 ticks, so that was pretty good. And I've got this 1 dice that I don't want to use on something that's dangerous, so we'll try it on this. A little bit of stress. That's fine. We'll be back again to help tomorrow, Alma. Yeah, so I think this will cost us a little bit of cargo, but I don't think it's gonna be super difficult. Yeah, we'll do this. And then, yeah, we'll get the final 2 ticks with this risky roll. Alright. You all gather in Alma's rig to see the engine tested. The engine room purrs and chitters. It seems to warm with the sound of the engine, with the polyrhythmic vibrations that rattle through the open framework of the interior. You look over at Alma, and you see her eyes are closed, a small tremble at the corner of her mouth. You look at the engine, Alma's engine, the object that you've come to respect over the past cycles, even if you haven't necessarily grown to love it. It is, as you see it now, a difficult thing to love. Whole parts of it make little sense, and its oldest systems, those now bypassed and made obsolete by newer additions, still somehow play an integral role you don't understand. It's unwieldy, and unnecessarily so, and the accumulation of parts and patches from its long surface make it surprisingly fragile. Meanwhile, other sections have been welded and re-welded so many times that they are impregnable and will never be able to replace. It is uncooperative and prone to sudden outbursts of cooling fluid or even fuel. It is restless and will begin to leak when it wasn't left idle for too long. It is always too cold or too hot thanks to the coolant in the fuel, and it's hard to predict which it will be at any given moment. And yet, despite all of this, it's an object you feel close to, that you feel a kinship with, because in the end you too are an accumulation of broken parts, long outliving their operational limits. You too are a machine that has become a story, and a story that has grown beyond the abilities of others to understand it. You look over at Alma again, and Bliss is there beside her. You can see they're talking, but with the engine running, you cannot hear them. You watch for a moment, Bliss now patiently listening as, in faltering words, Alma explains something to them. Bliss nods, and then suddenly they embrace, gently and with care. Bliss pushes back, and as soon as the moment has passed, it seems like it might not have happened at all. Nothing in the two figures' attitudes betrayed the act, and the room seems unchanged. You try to remember if you'd seen them speaking before now, but you recall that there are many moments when you were not with Bliss. As you watch Alma approach, you realize the engine is not just special to you, and that between her and Bliss, it might have been the bridge to a unique kind of respect. That's the job, Sleeper. Alma approaches you from the other side of the room, and you know where the payment is to be found. I believe that brings our business to an end. Alma scratches at her hair. Unless you have something to add. What'll you do now? I believe that's my business, she bristles at the question. I'll need to find somewhere quiet to resupply and so on, but I don't think you'd like my usual haunts. She gives you a sly look. I appreciate the assistance. You're welcome to take what you want from the hangar if you haven't already. You see a knowing shimmer in her eyes. Now, I must kindly ask you to leave my ship. As the airlock cycles, you look across at Bliss and swear you see a tear in their eye. What did Alma say? She turns to you as if they forgot you were there. She just reminded me of why I do what I do, why I fix things. They look ahead. There's beauty in it. You find yourself drifting away from Alma's rig in a haze of thoughts. It's clear to you that at this point that Alma's history is written all over this place, but more than that, well, you can't be sure. This story, it seems, isn't for you. You realize as you gaze at the broken remains of the facility that Alma never took any of her half of the hull. You turn back and squint at the cockpit of her rig. You see her there, looking out across the wasteland, still as a statue. It's an image that, as you load into the rig and begin your preparations to depart, will stick with you. One that, every time you enter the engine room of your ship, a room almost identical to the engine room of Alma's rig, will leap into your mind. A woman, floating above the wreckage of what was once her home, looking for a reason to keep going. Phew. Well, let's loot her home, everyone. Let's just go ahead and get in there. So this is dangerous, but it'll give us more ticks. This is fewer things to count off, but we're gonna be bad at it. Oh, I think we're gonna have to go the dangerous route. We'll get more stress, but that's okay. All right. 2 ticks there. 1 tick and 1 stress. I might re-roll. All right, one tick, 1 stress. I'm gonna push. Nice. Oh. See, I need to break one of these fucking die so that I can complete the thing. That's gonna enable me to fix my die. God, do I want to use this too? That seems like a bad idea. Well, it seems like 50% of a bad idea. I mean, we've had such good luck so far. Let's really blow the odds. Hey! All right. All right, we'll rest one more time and then come back and get the good shit. Oof. All right, well, that just broke everything more. that didn't actually get me closer to anything. Hey! You find your way to the sealed bay, the door in good condition. Perhaps the treasures are behind it. There's a hiss and a rush of stale air as the sealed bay deep in the facility's tunnel opens for the first time in years. The beams of your suit lamps reach into the dark, picking out waves of dust and debris. They reveal a small bay, big enough for a shuttle, but not like a rig like yours. As you glide inside, those same beams catch on the frame of something that sits at the center of the bay. It is wide and flat with a cylindrical central section that runs its length. As you move around it, looking at the sections of plates and open frame, you realize it's a ship, or at least it was. This frame, filled with rusted components and partially covered with old hull plates, suggests a fast ship, an arrowhead designed to cut through debris and even atmosphere. You float up a little to see into its central cylinder, and your lamps reveal a cockpit outfitted for 2 people, one sat behind the other. The seats are carefully upholstered, and you realize this was a labor of love. The whole ship, in fact, seems built by hand, a custom model with little function out here beyond looping around asteroids for the thrill of it. It's a joyriding trip. Oh, that's fun. This is so you can neck by an asteroid. Looking closer, brushing away the surface of corrosion, you see flames painted on the hull plates in curling patterns, the brushstroke visible even after what must have been many years. As you inspect the half-finished ship, a sense of quiet wonder keeps you silent. You notice a glint towards the rear. What if it's just like a hood ornament? What if that's our treasure? You approach it and see an engine, all interlocking tubes and flared vents. It's unlike any you've ever seen, but the holes in its size suggest it may never have been finished. The holes are the source of the glint. You reach in and pull out some strange-looking engine components, each pristine and complex. You hesitate for a moment, suddenly feeling like you shouldn't disturb such an intimate object. But it occurs to you that nothing would please the person who built this ship more than seeing these handmade components put to use. You secure them to your ship and its suit and push away from the ship. As you leave the bay, you turn and take one last look at the treasure inside. It's possible that it never flew, or perhaps it was in the middle of an extensive refit when this place was abandoned. Either way, its flying years have long since passed, and now with the bay open, it will corrode much faster, melding with the animized scrap of this place in mere cycles. You suppress a shudder, then start the journey back to the surface, aware of the components dangling at your side. Alright, so I guess that got us some rare components. Or probably some engine components. Do we want to risk pushing for this raw scrap? My instinct is no. Although I could push again. And that might break some shit, finally. But it's an endurance skill, so it's gonna be... We just don't have a lot of good shit. I'm not gonna risk it. It's not worth it. We're gonna head back. That was another good run. Lots of good stuff. Alright. And hopefully that is saved. Okay. Yeah, 16 seconds ago. Yeah, that probably saved. Alright, that's the end of the stream. We'll be back Thursday playing more of Citizen Sleeper 2, a good game that I'm enjoying a lot, and that I would keep playing for another 4 hours if I weren't tired and have other things to do. So, but we'll be back Thursday for more of it. Yeah, that's it. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your week. I will see you Thursday morning. Bye!